so excited to talk. As I explained the other day, we have so many amazing mamas who are part of AMMA. And as you know, with me, right now is such a crazy time. And I thought that getting on with you to talk about how to relax our adrenal glands, how to get centered, and just have lots of great conversations about what's going on and what moms can do right now that are easy and fun things to even get their children involved. So really quickly, I'm just going to quickly introduce you, which I know so many people already know you through Allure, Dr. Oz, Cosmo, and amazing other outlets. I met Dr. Karuna in 2013 in New York City. And she works between New York City and Berkeley. And I met her in person, but I know you do remote sessions and things like that. And I had my first, it was my first time having an autoimmune disease, and it felt like it was out of the blue. I went to all sorts of traditional doctors, and they just kept putting me on antibiotics. Sorry, one second. I'm going to turn off the comments. Let's see. They put me on antibiotics, and it didn't do anything. And it was probably about 6 months into my psoriasis, which is an autoimmune disease journey, that I found you. And I thought, okay, I need to give this a shot because nothing traditional had worked. And we had worked together for a very short time, but I saw immediate results. And you had me change my diet, a little bit of lifestyle change. You told me to start meditating and do yoga, and probably it's probably very similar to the things that you tell everybody to do to kind of get balanced. And somehow we don't do those things. But when I did start doing those things that you suggested, I think it was like 4 to 8 weeks in which I had cleared myself of psoriasis completely. And guys, I'm not even talking like little tiny psoriasis. I'm talking about like from my neck down to, I think it was like my lower body. It was like open sores. I mean, my arms, like everything. It was awful. And I had intense fear of potentially having my face be completely covered in psoriasis. And when I tell you, I have not had like maybe one spot every once in a while. Like I can't even remember the last time I had a flare up. And so, anyways, I wanted to bring you on here because I want us to talk about how to get moms back to center, how to feel powerful, and self-care, which is such a triggering word. So where would you like to start?
So I think that, first of all, hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm glad that Satya reached out. It's so exciting, too, that her psoriasis cleared up, because for those of you who don't know, psoriasis usually has a major emotional trigger, and that's what autoimmune diseases are. And right now, immunity is a big topic all around the world for all of us. And I think just really quickly, that's a good place to start. Whether or not we have an autoimmune disease, we want to make sure when we're talking about self-love that we know that we are taking care of ourselves and not doing things that attack ourselves. So people who have autoimmune disease, like Satya knows, have a confused immune system where what is her and what is not her gets messed up. And so that's a really important point for all of us, because we want to make sure that we are in our bodies. And I'm going to lead us through a meditation to start, but I had this thought this morning, and Satya, it's so funny because it's like this major aha moment that the body is the container. And I know that Satya was telling you we're going to talk a lot about how to contain chaos, but throughout this call, throughout your days in quarantine, throughout your days, like throughout life, remember that when things get completely off the rails, or one mom was telling me she's losing her marbles, people are hitting the wall, you always come back to your body. And I mean your literal body. This is your main container, not the house, not if you're packed in with your kids in an apartment. I know people are listening all over the world. Some people are in very small places. Remember that when things get crazy on the outside of you, all you have, what you have is this, okay? So we're gonna talk a lot about how to come back to your actual body and how good that'll make you feel. So I want everybody, wherever you are, on the floor, if you're standing at your kitchen table, on your chair, I want everybody to just, get really situated, okay? Shake it out, shake out your moment. You're here with me for an hour. And I want you to just close your eyes and arrive completely into the moment. And I want you to place, and it can be either hand, one hand on your head and one hand on your belly. And I want you to take a moment to just feel the warmth of how your hand feels on your forehead and how your hand feels on your belly. And let that touch itself ground you completely into your body that is your container. So just take a moment to feel that right now. Now, keeping your hands there, I'm going to lead you through a meditation exercise, which is actually a double meditation exercise, both to take us into this time of unknown with ease and also to release anxiety. So I want you to listen to me first, and then I want you to practice it for a few breaths. What we're going to do is on the inhale, we are going to whisper inside, clear mind. On the exhale, which I want you to double to your inhale, I want you to whisper inside, don't know. So you're going to inhale, say to yourself, clear mind. Exhale, double to your inhale, don't know. And I want you to just do this for a few breaths at your own pace. Inhale, clear mind. Exhale, don't know. I want you to slowly stop the meditation, but I want you to take a snapshot before you open your eyes of how you feel right now. And I want you to stay in this feeling throughout this call and also remember it throughout your moments and your days, especially as we continue in this quarantine. So now everyone can open their eyes. And I want to talk to you, first of all, about meditation. And it's a combination of actually different ones. When you keep your hand on your head and on your pelvis, very different than putting it on your heart, we are connecting our mind directly into what makes us all women. And all of you are like mamas, so you definitely have that connection to the uterus, right directly to your womb. What takes us out of our bodies, moms, is we are leaving that container that I just spoke about. And that container, which you can't see me, if I stood up, you can see me, is right in that womb. That is your heart, that is your center. That is what makes you here as a woman, okay? When we are scattered and we are stressed and frazzled and all these things that I'm hearing, some people are even saying they're going crazy, you are up here in your mind. And now more than ever, our thoughts are going wild because it's not just about the kids that you're trying to protect and homeschool and make sure that they have enough social interaction and all, you know, all the million fears I'm sure all of you are going through. What's going to happen to their education? Are they having enough, you know, interaction with other kids? How do I deal with my emotions while I host their emotions? That's all the mind going, okay? We want the mind to drop directly into the womb, right? So when you tell your mind, clear mind, on your inhale, you are giving the mind a directive of a thought, clear mind. When you're breathing down into your womb, exhaling all of that stress, you're saying don't know to yourself internally. It's a very powerful meditation. I've been doing it every day since quarantine started, because what you do is you're allowing yourself to be in the unknown. And I mean, Satya, we're all in the unknown right now.
Yeah.
We really don't know what's going to happen, when this is going to end. Life's going to be different.
Yeah.
But you're allowing yourself to be calm while you are completely not knowing of what's going to happen next, which, by the way, is always the reality.
Right.
That's always the reality. But the more that we stay calm and centered in it, the more that we can take action steps in our day to day. So I want all of you to use that. That right away will bring you into your center. And you can do it throughout, you know, your moments, throughout your day. Okay. It's done internally. If you feel yourself going crazy and like thinking of all these thoughts and what's going to happen with quarantine and where am I going to be and my job and my kids, clear mind. Don't know. The second part of that, which I want you all to practice, the anxiety meditation, is you double your exhale to your inhale.
Yeah.
Now, when you are getting stressed out, what you want to do at any point in the day, and I'm going to give you a lot of quick tips, so take notes, you have the video to rewatch. You want to insert what I call pause moment, the magic of pause. If everything's getting out of control with your kids or your husband or your job, or things are getting messy, and first of all, let that go. We're all under a lot of stimuli right now. I don't like to say stress, because stress is how we handle stimuli, right? But if you're feeling like you're about to hit the wall, pause. At the kitchen sink, as the kids are throwing things, just completely pause. Yeah. Literally not even a minute, Satya, just one breath's worth.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this the other day, you know, that I was washing dishes and I was all of a sudden noticing that I was like, I have to finish this and I have to put the kid to bed and I have to make milk at the same time and I have to da-da-da-da. And then I was like, oh, wow, okay, that was really stressful for my body. And that was not necessary stress. And so I'm just going to take a breath and notice that like I was going in so many different directions and just not get all that done right in this second. And you know, we talk about this and I'm sure a lot of moms know, it's like the mind starts creating this chatter, right? Like, all these things I have to do. Yeah. And the body is doing that. Like it's shooting all these different hormones, right? Stress hormones. And it's, you know, our reptilian brain doesn't know the difference, right? Between an actual stressful moment and this made up stress that we are, putting onto ourselves. And so I love that meditation of just being able to, like, even for a minute, right? We can do anything for a minute with our kids.
And everything that I'm showing you just for a minute, you know, because this is for like moms. And so when you double that exhale to your inhale, you automatically go back to your womb. So, you know, moms, when you are in your center, down here, your gut or out here, you're not up here. You cannot stress. Stress is up here. It's high. It's frazzled. It's talking like this. It's not gravitas. 1 minute, one breath, right? Now I'm going to go off what you were saying a moment ago, which is actually what made me think about this body as container, and we'll jump into containers in general. And then we'll start putting a lot of different, you know, self-care tips into them. Is when you feel that you're leaving yourself, which was the example you were telling me when, you know, we had the call the other day. How that feels like usually is you're leaving your body. It can be a frazzled moment. It can be, you know, something that's taking you 5 steps ahead of yourself, basically. And that looks like many different things. And I'm sure a lot of moms here are going to agree with me in a second. You'll start getting clumsy. You'll get awkward. You'll get angry. You'll get edgy. When you're doing things too fast, things can break. Things can get extra messy. Your tone will get higher or sharp, like I'm getting, right? You'll start speaking fast, or you start slamming things, you know? Too much, right? If I had a diagram, which I'll just makeshift, like my special quarantine diagram, and this is the body, and when you're leaving yourself, like Satya was saying, and we all do it, all the arrows go outwards, and we start leaking energy. Yeah. And that wreaks havoc on your adrenal glands. And by the way, you know, it's like I want to make sure everyone knows terms. Your adrenal glands are the glands that release stress hormone, both cortisone and cortisol. Usually that happens when you're in a super frightful situation, deer in headlights, you know, someone's hurting you. If we're feeling like that all the time, and all of our adrenals are taxed right now, we are going to burn out. And many moms are already reporting to me burnout. And I saw like on your feed, moms are burned out. People are burned out right now. Yeah. We want to protect ourselves and our container from feeling that way. So we want those arrows to point inwards into the container. And I'm going to keep saying container, body is container throughout this call because repetition is really good. And you'll think, oh, wait, I'm leaving myself. That is a leak. And leaks are different for everybody, okay? Leaks for some people can be whenever my husband or my partner says one thing to me and I start screaming because he's bringing up, oh my gosh, what are we going to do in May? You know, what's going to happen with our jobs? Or whenever my kid like spills something from the fridge, or when things aren't done my way, or, you know, a lot of secret leaks, you know, that we could talk about that people aren't, you know, your own dreams or canceled plans. I mean, tons of things are coming up, right? Arrows inward, okay? Now, there are pillars that I always talk about in Ayurveda, and they change for everybody what you put in them, but they're the same across the board for our health. And Satya, I wrote to you a little bit about these, okay? These are sleep, food, sex, and exercise. Now, before everyone like throws their, you know, the spoon, like, I'm not getting any of those, right?
Yeah.
What do they actually mean? And I'm going to read off my notes because I have a lot of good things for you. Now, they don't mean just the literal. Sex means that you're getting proper touch. Food is proper nourishment. Sleep is proper rest. And exercise is proper movement. These, mamas, are the containers that we all have to look at. Before you start looking for some advanced meditation, some advanced thing to listen to solve your problems, your stress, your tears, if you are not balanced in these, you are not going to feel good. Okay, Satya, you know that. We talked about that years ago. So these pillars are going to be different for your situation at any given moment. So I'm going to teach you now as moms what to do. Obviously for sex, most people right now, I don't think are having sex. You know, everyone's like social distancing. So I'm not talking about just physical sex. I am talking about healthy touch. Okay. Now, healthy touch is key because it's what boosts oxytocin, which, you know, Satya, you and I talked about that with pleasure. It is the pleasure hormone, and it's what allows us to connect and feel that ooey gooey fuzzy feeling. All of you mamas know it because it's what was released when you were in labor, but it's very important for all of us, okay? Yeah. We have to implement self-massage techniques. Now, for mamas specifically, and I want you to all write this down, it's going to be a focus throughout everything I say today. For you and your kids, you want to focus on earth element with your touch. That is going to be getting out of your head into your feet. Okay. For kids, when they're going all over the place, and I'm sure moms are, you know, have on this call from like infants to their 18-year-old, they're still calling kids. I mean, you know, come on, I'm Indian. My mom still thinks I'm a kid, you know? So it's, you want to make sure that you are grounded in your feet. The best way to do that with your children when they're going all over the place, like I talked to you about, they're scattered up here, just ask them, find your feet. Find your feet. Are you in your feet right now? And for you adults, right, it's like, it's amazing. Whenever you tell your kids something, and this might sound funny, but I was thinking about this, you know, before I was coming on today, do whatever you tell your kids, like do it as well. Yeah. Get into it with them. We all need it too, right? So yeah, it's like, you know, and I always say, okay, I'm going to breathe through my feet. Breathe through my feet. Okay. Now, focusing just on self-touch and feet, two of my favorite things, and do this yourselves, do it with your kids, make it a party. This in itself, if I said nothing else, you'd feel so much better, is foot massage prior to bed and foot baths. Okay. Very simple. Everything I'm telling you is like a few minutes or less, right? Yeah. Foot massage is a key Ayurvedic technique to bring down anxiety, because remember, whenever we're talking about earth element, feet, self-nourishment, we're taking you out of your head. Our mind is what gets us scattered. That's why I'm not going to give you any techniques really, you know, it's something I talked about this, that are advanced for the mind. It's not, you're not going to retain it if you're not working with the body and not feeling good. And if your adrenals aren't nourished, right? So foot massage, very simple. If you have almond oil at home, if you have some other oils you like, use it. Otherwise, use a lotion. Let's make it simple, 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 simple. At night, you can massage your children's feet. They will be calmer. You will be happier when they're calmer. They will sleep better. They are getting touch. their energy will come down. And you can also massage each other. Children
Yeah.
love massaging parents, right? It's like my nephews, that way you get some touch, right? And you can make it a game.
Yeah.
Okay. And they'll love to, do something with you that's just bringing, them into the process. Children are very overstimulated right now and stimulated in the quarantine. It's a lot of change for them. So we need to involve them as much as possible in activities that don't require their head, which is a lot of complaints people are saying too. They're like, oh, homeschooling? Like, we don't want them just being in their brains.
Right.
Some kids, a lot of the kids I know, they're in Waldorf school, and parents are like, how do I mimic that? Well, these are some ways.
Yeah.
The other thing, focusing on feet, and I'm going to jump to foot baths in a second, is if you have outdoor space, which not everybody does, who I'm sure is on this call, but if you have any, or you could even go to, a local park that's, social distanced right now, go out there, take your shoes off. Spring is here. Put your feet on the ground. It's called earthing.
Yeah.
Right? Something, if you're around now. And have your kids and you put your feet on your ground. Feel the earth. Talk about the earth. If you have a garden, get your hands in the dirt. Without doing anything, it's going to change your mind frame because it's the actual earth element, right? It's going to come up through the feet. You're engaging with something other than your mind, okay? To keep focusing, feet. The other thing is foot baths. It is my favorite self-care, more than almost taking a bath, right?
Yeah.
I have a foot basin. You put in 2 scoops of Epsom salts. Again, I like to keep this simple, but you can all order Epsom salts, and they are available at your drugstore, which is an essential outing right now. But if you don't have that, just hot water. If you don't have a basin, like I like to make it simple, sit on the edge of the tub. Do it with your kids. I mean, Satya, they love it,
Oh,
you have essential oils you like, they love it. Because it's play. And guess what? You do it with them. There's the mama exhale. Okay.
And actually, it's interesting. One of the things that, I always, and Emily and I talk about this all the time. We are like the queens of not self-care, right? And if we do one thing to teach our daughters to focus on their well-being and make that a priority, I would have felt like I've done my job, a good job as a mother. If my daughter in 20 years from now is like, I need to go soak my feet in the tub before going to sleep because that's an act of self-care for me. And I love how you said, like, bringing our kids into the act of self-care, like, can be something that we do together, but also helps all of us, right? Like, we think of these acts of self-care as needing me to go get my nails done or bikini wax or my hair cut. And it doesn't necessarily need to be as big as that. It could be as small as just Epsom salts, a little essential oil, and we all sit together and just be together. And maybe we're also doing our little meditation at the same time. We're just feeling our feet in that water and absorbing the goodness. I love that.
Satya, you just brought me to something that I didn't even think about until you said it, is that imagine if the homeschooling that you teach your kids right now is medicine, like the medicine that I'm teaching you,
Totally.
So, it's like Ayurvedic techniques, how to be in your body is not taught in school. So you can all exhale, let's just all exhale together. Like maybe they're not learning the math at the level they need to or whatever, who cares?
Right. I mean, again, like if you were just going to spend the next, who knows how long, let's just say 2 months, right?
Months.
Learning how to balance yourself, your kids would have a huge education advantage over the rest of their schoolmates, right? If they were able to ground themselves into the earth and just be present, or learn how to be there for 2 minutes, touching your head and your womb or your stomach or your heart, like that would be enough, right? Like
and the word for that is embodied. Rather than these like walking heads. I mean, it'd be more than enough, because when we're embodied, first of all, we absorb information better, right? We're not frazzled, but also, and this is taking it a step further, and a lot of you mamas are going to relate to this, is that that's what power is. And I didn't realize we're going to go here, but let's go here. We're all women. That shows, that is radiance. That's what beauty is. And I'm going to talk about this other point, and I have this article coming out that you should all read for Healthline, why your beauty routines still matter in quarantine. And it covers in depth all of this. But, going to this whole, like all of us, like my hair is going to be to my waist by the end of this, it's like all of our, it's like we're all going to look so different. Totally. Like don't even talk about waxing, right? Let's talk about it. But But that's, that's not actually
Mm-hmm.
self-care, right? It's about
Totally.
self-love, like it's value. And it's about one thing. And what we talked about the other day, and what I'm going to iterate, is what allows you to feel in your body, in your container, and feel good.
Yeah.
And that can be something so simple to, feel good about ourselves when we're not frazzled and we actually watch our kids splashing in water and we're like, you know what, it's okay that there's pudding all over the floor. I mean, it really comes down to what we're okay with. And, we're all going through it because it's been too much. Let's all face it. I'm sure if I had comments going, everyone would be like, oh my God, we all feel like that. Hashtag too much.
Yeah.
You have to let go, everybody, because the adrenals are what allow you to cope. And if you're having trouble coping right now, and again, it's like, adrenal conversation's bigger, which we'll talk about at the end, obviously, to get a protocol is bigger if you're really going off the rails. But these steps are where to start, and they're enjoyable. It's about joy, bringing the essential joy back, and when you involve your kids, they'll remind you, like, can I do my foot massage right now, mama? Can I soak my feet with you? And you get since I'm talking to moms right now, you get your chance for downtime. And that's what I want for the mamas, right?
Oh my God, I can do 10 minutes, 15 minutes of my kids sitting with their feet, being soaked. Like even my 1-year-old, I can see him just sitting there with his feet. And it creates a whole new container for us. Somebody asked a question of can they use kitchen salts or does it need to be Epsom salts?
Epsom salt's different because it has the magnesium. I mean, if they want to use a little bit of pink salt, that is detoxifying. If you want to put a pinch in there. Epsom salts has a different effect.
Yeah.
Right? But you can also do just water. It's the downward moving. And also you can put your children's feet, if it's like one child or however it's set up, together. I thought that would be really cute.
Yeah.
And you share a container,
One thing about the magnesium that actually I have done for myself is, and talk to a doctor. I'm not a doctor, but I've been adding magnesium at night and I am passing out. I mean, it's, I never used sleep drugs before, but after having my kids, my sleep just felt not great. And then since adding these magnesium pills to my nighttime routine, I am out.
And magnesium is not a drug, right? It's an essential mineral. It's the most important, and it's necessary for your adrenal glands. It's necessary for, cramping, for your brain, for relaxation. And magnesium, again, you do the Epsom salts, you find that if any of you women are having chocolate cravings that seem unusual, that's a deficiency in magnesium. I mean, everyone's like, what? It's a food group, right? I mean, I have a drawer of chocolate, I get it. But it's also, you have to look at the fact that when you're stressed, like we're using all of our nutrients and minerals rapidly right now, and that's a bigger conversation, right? Like what supplements to use, which we can talk about at the end, right?
Absolutely.
So still sticking, so everyone like with me now, we're talking about the pillars, right? So we're on the pillar of sex or healthy touch. So I gave you a few suggestions. There are also self-massage, which we should all be doing right now because it's going to be social distance for a while. In Ayurveda, we all massage the babies. We all massage our kids, and being Indian, it's like from childhood. My mom's always massaging my head and touching my body because that's the way to get embodied. But guess what? It is for us adults too. Right. And we have a word in Sanskrit that's called sneha. It means love. And when you saturate yourself with oil, you are self-loving. Okay. So if you want to do that, again, these are easy, quick tips. Lotion or oil going towards the heart, parents, like towards your own heart, towards the children's heart. Okay.
So if you're starting at the feet, you're moving in movements up to the heart. When you're here, you're going down to the heart. Is that right?
Correct. And because it's all to bring us into a container. Okay. So healthy touch, however you do it, remember, it's one of the pillars. If you feel like you're going off the rails, you have to think, these are the pillars, right? Have you not gotten healthy touch today, right? Put it on your refrigerator. Oh, what can I do, right? Next one, food. Now, food is a big one, but that doesn't just mean food on our plate. It means, are you getting healthy nourishment? How does that look? And it's different for everybody, for your digestive fire, what time you're going to bed, what time you're waking up. Nutritional needs are across the board. But here's the thing. I'm going to just teach basic principles, and for specifics, we can talk about it at the end, if someone needs specific attention, which if you have any type of condition, you probably do. but I'm going to give you some quick tips for this crazy time. Quick meals, Instant Pot. I love my Instant Pot. Satya, do you have one? An Instant
I
Pot?
don't. My husband's a chef, so it's a little different in our
We're all,
house.
we're all moving
But
with you, Satya. When this is over, retreat at Satya's. Like, really, we need to do a Ojai retreat. But okay, so if you don't have a chef partner, an Instant Pot, which is literally like a godsend. They're available on Amazon, 3 different sizes. And you can make the easiest stews that are so delicious. And in Ayurveda, warming foods are grounding, and they're grounding, period, you know, back to the earth element. It brings all that mental tension down, okay? So you want mono meals, and you want to plan it out as much as possible, that it's not taking away from you and you're stressing about food right now. It just needs to be nourishing, okay? Another food tip for you is blueberries, and you want to do wild blueberries. Frozen actually is shown to have better antioxidant levels than fresh. I know it's crazy, but that's the research, and that's the purple pigment, okay? Easy to get because it's frozen. Everyone, including the kids, unless you know you have an allergy, 1/4 cup, either in a smoothie, warm it up. I like to do stewed fruit, right? Make a compote. You want to get that pigment in because it's good. It's good for the immunity. It's antioxidant. And these are like quick, easy things you can do. Another nourishment thing, and something you might remember your session years ago, hot water in the morning, first thing, everybody should do it. Here's the reason, you know, and these tips go a long way. First of all, it's going to help with your skin, you know, and beauty is a whole other topic, and we can do a whole other talk just on beauty. But you want to make sure that how you start your day, this is the number one thing. If I had a megaphone, right? Megaphone, like how you start your day rules your day. And Satya knows, like I call it bookend. How you start your day, how you end your day. Whatever chaos ensues in the middle, which it is chaotic, let it be. How you start and how you end gives you some kind of container for that, right? So we have that outer container, and then what you're doing to your body. It's like macrocosm, microcosm. You are that container within the macro container, right? Hot water. And I have a video, it's something we can post that we do the links of the morning routine.
Perfect.
You know, so I won't go into all of it now, but hot water in the morning brings all your energy downwards. Remember, earth element. But it also tells you this: when you start your day with water, whatever you start your day with is imprinting you. And you were saying water, the energy of nourishment, is the most important to me. I come first, okay? That downward movement helps your bowel movements. You do not want to be constipated, another big topic, okay? It helps all of that night energy go down. Also, we're all dehydrated at night. We are, you know, we've had 8 hours, hopefully, which we'll get to rest of sleep. And you want to hydrate yourself. A few glasses of hot water, and I'm sure people will answer it. You do not want to add to that hot water lemon, or you're not putting like tea. That's like, you could do whatever you're doing after. This is pure water.
I've been adding lemon to my hot water with a little bit of salt. Don't do that.
No, it's right. No lemon. Yeah. So, and what you want to do is make it a ritual. And I wrote that down too: as many things as you ritualize, more beauty you bring. And, you know, you want to have a beautiful mug to do it. I have a few beautiful mugs, okay? Because you're doing it every day. Anything you do every day has the most impact, Satya. You know that. You just changed your routine, right? Your sleep. So you want to make sure, first of all, don't stress out about anything that I'm telling you. Just implement these things slowly, right? No, everyone's stressed. I'm giving you things that work quickly, right? Hot water. Now, Satya mentioned the second one, which was on my list too, is a dash of pink salt in your drinking water, okay? You might remember we talked about that. Pink salt specifically is good for the adrenal glands. Adrenal glands love it, and it'll help you to mineralize, okay? It helps with your stress. Again, how to do this specifically for every person and how much, that's more of a session conversation. Start with just a little bit, not for your kids, just for you. The kids are going to, just don't do it for the kids, mamas, right? Now, and then the other thing is just hydrate in general. There is an app that I have that I use, and I actually set out bottles of water. You know, so many of us are going for like, what meditation? What do we do? We're freaking out. You got to remember your basics, folks. If you don't have your basics down, you're going to feel like crap, and then nothing's going to work. So you can't reach for like advanced philosophical techniques, right, Satya? It's like, have you drank water? Like, I even go back to that. The other day I had a headache and I thought, oh no, Like, I didn't drink enough water. And we think we're going crazy and we just need to hydrate.
Yeah.
It's like that simple, you know.
I want to go back a second to two things.
Drink water while you do that.
I know. I was like, what did I do with my water? First, somebody did have a question about the massage. Somebody is a pregnant woman and doing it solo. So she was asking about just massage. Is there any suggestions that you have for self-massage, specific, I guess, techniques for self-massage?
So pregnancy obviously is a little different. So I would just go softer. If any of the women are pregnant, you don't want to do more of the pressure points, right? Because the pressure points on the bottom of the feet are associated with organs. And here's the thing, for all of you, and you know, pregnant women too, even if you don't have oil or lotion, it's the idea of touching your body.
Yeah.
Even if you just do soft motions, like with no lotion towards your heart, you need to connect to yourself. Even doing that now, it just feels so good, right? It's just like, because right now we're all just through distance, right? And so, you know, for pregnancy too, talk to your baby, put your hands on your actual belly, you know, and just do that. Like, just massage more, not like a massage like we're going to a masseuse. That's not what I'm talking about here. It's about love and the energy of touch to increase pleasure hormone, oxytocin.
Well, I was just thinking, I don't even know if the body knows if it's somebody else or if it's me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it could be my husband who's touching me and they have no idea that it's just my little fingers.
Beautiful. And you know what? It's actually really important for us. And this connects now. It's good. We're doing both. So to the sex and touch and food nourishment, there's a connection, because the heart channel, for those of you who practice yoga and, you know, you do like the warrior pose and, you know, if you know any type of Chinese medicine, it's going to come out through your hands. That's why in Ayurveda we like to cook food, because you're self-nourishing. And remember, I said the Sanskrit word for love is like sneha, because you're self-loving. Your heart back to you. It's the ultimate form of self-love. And right now we're almost forced to do it because, you know, we have to eat at home and we have to touch, you know, our own bodies. But here's the thing, going back to that forced word, because a lot of people are feeling confined, trapped, all these things. Look at it as a choice. Shift your brain. It's not, it's, you know, it's because we're going to be in this for a while. If we keep using that, you know, terminology that, oh, we're in lockdown from the government, it's not going to work. It's a choice. I'm making it a choice, right? To self-massage. I'm making it a choice to cook at home. Right away, even me saying it, I feel different.
Totally. I agree.
You know, because you feel powerless. Otherwise, there's so many things out of our control right now. And that's another point right now I want to bring up too, is that, remember, everything I'm teaching you is ways that you can control the environment. We started off with the unknown. We have the meditation for that. We can't do anything about the unknown. We cannot control how long this is going to go on or what the government's going to do or homes. We can't control any of that. So let's control what we can do to our bodies and for our children's bodies, right? Okay. That's the key. Now, okay, so there's more. So,
I'm going to stop you really quickly because ritual is so important. And I have spent, I don't know, the last like 10 years just really understanding the benefit of a ritual, right? Like when I wake up now, I'm starting to light my incense or a candle because it makes it more enjoyable for me. I drink my water in a gorgeous mug that I love. And it just little things like showering and having this amazing towel that you love or smells good, or a face wash, like all those little things that might seem even extravagant or, oh, I shouldn't be buying that now, are so important because they'll give you the opportunity to continue doing the things and get so much more pleasure and joy out of it that it doesn't feel, you know, like a task. Even doing dishes, right? Like I got this little scrub brush that I really wanted, and I swear it feels so much more fun doing the dishes with it because it feels like I've made it special. And I think that ritual of having special things makes it so that you follow through and do them with fun and ease, and it just, again, feels special. And so anything that you're saying, right, between the Epsom salts, it might be bringing a gorgeous little container for it, or it might be special Epsom salts, or it might be getting special lavender flowers and putting, like, whatever it is. And moms, like, test things out. I mean, I know for myself, like, I'm constantly being like, oh, do I like that smell or do I like this smell? And we don't give ourselves that opportunity to find out what we love. And that is, I think, golden, right? Like, do
I mean, you're speaking my language, Satya. I mean,
I know, we're like,
this is the core of, you know,
yeah.
if we want to go here, I'm going to pause when I was saying go here, because as you know, like the core of my work is about pleasure and five senses, right? And that's where, you know, and I have a course out on it. And this, like your joy and your ability to connect with your five senses to pleasure. And again, back to the oxytocin, because so many people are disconnected. And right now, it's so easy to want to get disconnected because of what's happening and numb out. And it's almost impossible, but we also want to be conscious. These people are on this call right now to make a conscious choice to be connected. Yeah. And do it in this way. I'm like, you know, I do everything, you know, ritualistically. That's like in my spiritual practice and beauty. It's like everything. And how we do things now will continue past quarantine. But here's the key thing. And again, when the article comes out, you have to post it to everyone. Mamas, it's not indulgence. It's essential. Imprint that. You know, it's like I wake up, like, I mean, you should see my beauty ritual. You know, it's like I have rose cream. I have a organic towel.
I watched your whole video on
know,
that.
I mean,
Like,
yeah,
that is awesome. And it inspired me. When you were doing the gua sha, I was like, I have the thing. I've never used it. And then I was just, and now that I'm doing it, I'm like, oh, I just feel better. And having that special thing that I do in the morning just feels right. I actually also bought that mouthwash.
Oh, good.
I just bought it today.
Okay.
And we'll post that video too with the follow-up email. So anybody who wants to re-watch this or watch it for the first time, we'll send it on our email, our weekly email. So, and I'll include that information next, so everybody has access to it as well. Because everything you talk about, I just think it's taken me years. I'm 37 years old, and the last 10 years I've focused on pleasure, on touch, on just knowing what I like and how to pause. And I'm still working on it. Like, it's still, like, I've known, and we talked about this the other day, like, women know, especially pregnant women, that meditation, for everybody, pregnant or not pregnant, like, for everybody, that meditation is just so good. It changes our brain. It changes how we feel, gratitude, all these things. And yet there's this, we don't do them. And, you know, I think that making things a ritual and just doing one at a time will enable you to continue to do them in a way that's special. And like, I now look forward. I was telling you this week that I'm now waking up at 5:30 every morning for the last 3 or 4 weeks to do my meditation, because once my kids are up, I'm like on, right? Like, I'm doing a million things, and my husband and I are trying to do everything that we used to do and not do, and it's crazy. And so instead of waking up at 6:30 now, I'm waking up at 5:30, and now just adding my candle and my incense, it feels so beautiful. And I feel so much more balanced, and my bookend, the first bookend of my day, feels like I have accomplished so much. So the rest of it can be a little bit more chaotic, and it doesn't frazzle me as much right now because I've given myself that time, love, and space. And so we have 15 more minutes, and I know you have 2 more pillars, so we're gonna let's power.
Well, I want to speak, because you said a lot of things that I think are very essential that I like touch base on. Like, why it's a bookend, and what Satya's talking about is you have something to lean on. Okay, so just use that term. You have something to lean on so that the whole thing doesn't go out from under you. Satya, I do think we should do a whole separate live on beauty. I think the women would love that, and I have a lot of different tools and bring that out. But I want to say a few things, because also this can be, it's a very stressful topic for women too, that remember, with everything that Satya just said and that I just said, like, the point is, if you connect to it, whatever brings you joy. Like for me, and I'll list them quickly: beeswax candles, anything rose, you know, I have like an organic towel. I love different like scents, you know, it's like my hot pink lipstick, you know, beauty. Again, it can be whatever the thing is for you. It shouldn't be outside of yourself. And I talk a lot about this in my pleasure course, is that, you know, some people, we think even pleasure can be a chore, right? It's like, oh, but I should love the symphony and I should love this, but you don't like it. If you really don't like it, and I like to keep things real, you know, New York, it's like, if it's not actually giving you pleasure, but you'd rather read a romance novel or watch a show or just stare at a tree, like, what's your thing? Right. And you said something else, Keita, before I go to the pillars that I want to really hone in, is that it's like how to discover what you like. Let it be an exciting process, right? It's like, because a lot of women don't know what how to feed their needs. Yeah. That's why I created my home course. So don't feel stressed out about that, everyone. Like, stick to the pillars. If you know one thing you love right now, just one, whether it's your lipstick, your favorite book, your journal, your glitter pen, like whatever it is, your cat, you know, I mean, I love glitter pens. I mean,
Me too.
you know what I mean? Like just right now, we need all of it. Do it for yourself. And it's easy things. Do
Yeah.
not indulgence because, oh my God, we're all in prison and quarantine. No, in fact, up it, up your art, up your enjoyment. Okay. Now, to go really quickly, one more thing with the nourishment is that, and we actually, it's so funny. It's like something that you and I talked about, and I didn't even say it out loud, how to nourish your senses. So that was another thing under this pillar. You and I just talked about that. The other thing with nourishment, and it's again under food, so I want you to see how far reaching this is emotional nourishment. We're still under the food pillar, okay? So make sure that you have some type of support. It can be one person, it can be your journal, it can be hugging a tree. I'm not kidding. Like it, you know, get what you need to feel emotionally nourished. And you know, and I have had a lot of moms who have been telling me or posting after the kids go to sleep that they're crying, you know, like this is a hard time. And I really want to acknowledge that. Like there's nothing, you know, that's foo-foo about this time. So give yourself the opportunity to feel. And if it's too much because you're in lockdown with your partner or you're completely alone, there's a lot of outlets right now to have that support, but please find one, okay? Emotional nourishment's essential. And everything I'm telling you will also help to nourish you emotionally, because ultimately, you know, when you come into your container and oxytocin, you're going to feel that, okay?
Yeah.
Now we've covered the mono meals. Make your food simple. Let's see. So much, Satya. We could do like a workshop.
I know. It could be like 20 lives here.
Yeah, seriously. Hold on.
One of the things that my husband started doing this week, which I think has actually been really useful, is getting our daughter, who's 3, involved in the menu planning for the week. And it gets her cooking, it gets her planning, it gets her excited about her meals. It's actually led us to have a more calm table. And just simple things like that, you know, where your kids are driving you crazy because you're trying to make dinner and they're playing and they need your attention and there's like a million things happening. And just by stopping and saying, oh, hey, sweetheart, would you like to help me plan, or would you like to help me cook, or would you like to like stir the broccoli or whatever it is. Obviously, you know, you have to think of safety. They shouldn't be holding knives and things like that, but it's game changing. And so everything that we're doing in our lives as moms, as humans, as women, as whatever men out there who might be watching, like they're just those little things that we do on a daily basis. There's ways to add pleasure. There's ways to add fun to it. And so don't, you know, especially with little people running around, you don't have to stress about that particular moment. And again, like I am no expert at this. I, you know, get frustrated with my kids multiple times in a day and within myself, but I'm realizing the more that I'm aware and conscious and present that there's opportunities for them to be involved in everything that I do for myself and for them and for both of our benefits and for our family's benefits. And so the more the time that I instead of saying go play by yourself, you know, mom needs a minute or whatever, just saying, oh, would you like to, mom, I'm doing this now, would you like to do this with me? And then afterwards we can do that. And more often than not, my daughter, who's 3, she'll say, yes, I'd like to do that. And I realize that she just wants to connect with me. And so a lot of these nourishing tips that you're giving doesn't have to be mom cooking something. It could be family cooking together, which again, I'm stealing from my husband, which, you know, he's including them in all aspects of all of us into our nourishment. And I love that you use the word nourishment because it is, you know, it's nourishment.
Yeah, I mean, again, you're speaking to something core, and everything that you're mentioning is about connection and togetherness, right? That's why I chose these things specifically that you can do with the family. And you know, a lot of the kids have their own little play kitchen, and they can do things that are very safe. You know, it's like when they eat blueberries, they can wash them, they can separate like a raspberry, blueberry. They love like doing these things. And then everybody is involved. And again, we're teaching them about nourishment. If we just, you know, if we collectively just said, let's just make this homeschooling time for children to teach them about nourishment, like how amazing would the world be?
Amazing.
You know? Now, the next pillar is sleep, which is essential rest. This is the number one. This and food are really important because that's why most women are frazzled right now. They're not getting proper rest. So sleep at night is a big topic, and you want to make sure that you have your night bookend as well. Do not be on your phone until the last minute. Do not go like, you know, without some kind of ritual into bed. I always do some kind of like bath or shower, just something to just clear the day. My whole facial routine takes a few minutes, right? And you want to enter your bed away from the rest of your day. Okay. Now, some of you might have the kids with you, you know, there's like a million different situations, but you want a second to go back into that meditation consciously, even if it's one breath, everybody. You want to transfer morning to day, day into night. Okay. And if you're having sleep issues, that's something, you know, when you have my information, whatever, I thought, you know, and that workshop I talked about, I could talk about deep, because sleep will make everybody completely frazzled if you're not getting it properly. So dial that in as much as possible and get help on that, okay? But this doesn't just mean sleep at night, this pillar. It means the rest that you need. It's always for whom and when. And every single woman here is different on the call. So you need to take moments to rest during the day. Now, I was thinking about this because I know, you know, being around my nephews, and I always used to say to my sister, you know, how can you not even have the smoothie that's on the counter until I was with the boys? So I get, you know, until I babysat, and I thought, how does anyone do anything? So it's like, I have a lot of compassion, right? But here's the thing, back to earth element, laying on the floor, even for 5 minutes. And if you could do it outside, that's like 5 stars. If you could do it inside, you know, kids are used to nap time in preschool. Do it with your kids.
Yeah.
So if you want a second tip, laying on the floor, teach them progressive meditation. If you don't know what that is, just say, okay, we're all laying on the floor right now. You know, feel your head, feel your face, and go through the body. First of all, they love it. You lay down too. That gives you those few minutes. Make it fun. Say, imagine you're a tree and you're on the floor. As soon as you lay in Shavasana, you know, in yoga, we lay with our, you know, palms up flat, you will feel better.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you do it without your kids, like do it at any time. Like I will in the middle of the day sometimes, I'll just lay flat, you know. If you get a chance to look into, and I can put links like a yoga nidra practice, if you can incorporate that, game changer.
Yeah.
Also, another thing I've been doing is brainwave music, and you can do that in the back. It's so amazing, right? So anxiety, fear, clearing negative energy, and you'll see your kids' state start to change. And that's really simple because speakers, you know, it's just on. You're doing nothing, right? So you want to make sure that you are getting the rest you need. I can almost guarantee that half, if not more, of these women on the call are not getting that. That's why people are saying. That's the whole theme here, right? They're exhausted, hitting a wall, whatever. So 2 things with that. The other pillars are directly connected. We need to up your nutrition, make sure the adrenals have what they need if the rest is compromised, you know. I'm going to offer something at the end if that's, you know, something that's like a problem. So you want to make sure that you dial into what your rest is, because you will not be looking at things clearly if you're not resting properly.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's different for everybody. It just means when, back to the beginning, when you're leaving your body with those arrows going outwards, that means that you are not in your container.
Yeah.
Okay. So it means essential rest, not sleep. But remember, these pillars are key. If you're not getting proper touch, proper nourishment, proper rest, figure out how you can plug these leaks, how you can fill these containers before you reach for anything else being wrong with you. Yeah. Really, like drink water and sleep first and see how good you feel before you think.
No, it really is therapy. Basic.
Yeah,
it's so basic.
Basics, you know, back to the.
I know.
So laying on the floor, pausing. Okay, so I also want to mention here Rescue Remedy. It's in one of my other videos on YouTube. So if you mamas don't know about that, it's available in pastille, spray, drops. I keep it at my desk. You can spray it on the kids, put it in the bath. It's safe no matter what medication you're doing. You are all going to love it. It's available online. I can put my medicinary link if moms need extra help to access. I got you. Rescue Remedy. It's a flower blend for anxiety and stress. Okay, good for everyone, even infants. All right. Now, the last pillar is exercise and movement. Now, this one's easy to do with kids. And here's the thing, you don't want to, if you're tired, movement also means checking in if you are too scattered. Like if you need to rest, that means balancing your movement in any degree. I personally, for movement, and we're in quarantine, no one's going to the gym, I have a rebounder. So if you can order that, kids love it. You know, the trampoline, it's good for your lymph. It's really good for your hormonal health. Another big topic all the mamas probably need, right? I take dance breaks. You know, I've done it before, but now I'm doing it almost every day because it's just me. Like I'm quarantined alone, and I get up one song, you know, and the kids love it. I just do it with my nephews, and you'll get a chance. Like they're so connected to the music. Like here's another secret. It's not that you're always like connected hyper vigilantly to your kids. These things I'm telling you give you a second to go into yourself because they're occupied in an activity that's connecting them to their senses. We need to off the vigilance a little bit. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So play a song that you like, you know, make it like some like, you know, educational for them. Walks are number one. Like if you can get outside and you're in a place you get outside every day, get outside. That is going to prevent the stir crazy right away. You know, I see tons of people outside here more than, you know, before because you can do it. It's allowed right now if you're social distancing at least for 10 minutes a day, if not more. Okay. Watch your kids just outside. Nature itself is going to take away a lot of the stress. Okay. Now, for movements, a few other, again, we're doing quick because this is for moms. Just the shaking out, you know, like the horse, just if you're feeling stressed, you know, you're just like, like the shake it out all the way down, like to your feet, right? Yeah. The other thing for yoga, a lot of moms, you know, tell me there's no way I can do a whole yoga routine. Like the kids are jumping. Some moms have put in a separate yoga mat. They have the kids, you know, and I've had it with my nephew. He'll crawl under me. He's like doing this. He's in my face, you know, just make it work, right? Yeah. But here's the key thing for movement. Here's your trick. You want to just for yoga, you just want to open your key channels, okay? Your front channel, your back channel, your side channel, and then your second side channel that comes with twisting. Any of you people out there that do yoga or yogis, if you go back to your studies and your postures from when, you know, you were going to classes, all of the postures fall in those different categories. Yeah. You only really need to do one. Yoga is about opening channels. And if you open your channels, you won't feel stuck or stagnant, which a lot of people are feeling, right? The trick is, if you know, we're doing quick, right? You want to just put more breath into each of those postures, right? Find one for each. It could be forward bend, standing, or sitting. It can be, you know, backward bend. There's many in those according to your capacity. Side bend can be standing, or it can be sitting, you know, over like that. And then the twist can be sitting, laying down, standing, right? One each, okay? Hold the breath. If you do 5 breaths, hold it for 10. There you go. 10 breaths. You have a 5-minute yoga routine. You would change, you know? Here's the other thing, the last thing I'll leave you with, because I know we're running out of time. We obviously need to.
They're actually gonna turn off the video. So
okay. So here's the thing: is just like remember that you just need to do what you can do in your container. That is like the key thing that I'm gonna leave you with. Okay. Consistency is key for chaos. Whatever you can do, just find something, do it every day. Okay.